Welcome to Mindflow Radio.
Mindflow Radio.
She's Jaylyn.
And here's Monty.
So buckle your seatbelt and get ready to take a trip towards reality.
If I must.
Well, maybe you do. Have to. Well, I think we all have to eventually.
Yeah, whether we're kicking or screaming or being all good and sitting in our seat proper.
Yeah, enjoying the ride. Either way, we got to go there sooner or later. I'd rather do it sooner, personally.
Yeah, get into reality.
Yeah, moving towards reality at least with my mind state.
Yeah. I guess that kind of brings the question, what is reality?
Well, I mean, ultimate reality, it's like this infinite intelligence, consciousness, higher power, right? That creates all the material universe, I believe.
Mm.
I mean, from my perspective, there's a spiritual reality and there's a material reality. And we're stuck in the material reality right at this very moment.
But the spiritual reality is overlaid.
Yeah, the spiritual reality could be seen as like a much bigger segment of reality, the material reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think of reality as we all have our reality that we engage in.
Yeah.
And it's true for each of us.
Yes.
The challenge then becomes accepting another person's reality that may not be your reality. And that can be difficult. Certainly
can be, Yeah, we do it each. Like we create our own reality. And ideally, the more in harmony our reality is with the ultimate reality, the easier things are.
Mm-hmm. That's what I hear.
That's what in the Tao Te Ching. You get in harmony with the Great Mother, and the Great Mother takes care of you. That's exactly it, I think. And
so, how do you get in harmony with the Great Mother then?
Well, meditation doesn't hurt. Prayer doesn't hurt.
Okay.
Yoga doesn't hurt. The whole thing. Just maybe examining our minds, examining our own thoughts and our beliefs, and noticing, maybe that belief is not in harm. Maybe that belief was handed down to me, from generation to generation, or maybe the media implanted that belief in my mind. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is, but just like really examining the beliefs and trying to effectively evolve our belief system. I think that's the way to go, and effectively evolve our state of consciousness too, which means essentially not thinking too much and being present some of the time, every day.
Yeah.
And seeing things from a soulful perspective. I mean, that's something I'm working on every day.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been working with, I made up a mantra a while back. Yeah. I know it's in our Peace Reset, and it's no story back to the body. Because as a human with a smoking hamster wheel in my brain, it's going so fast, the gears are getting smoky and smells bad. Smells like, brakes burning.
Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what it is,
Yeah.
What I've realized is that I can be meditating and just absolute random stuff goes through my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Fast and hard.
Okay.
And I could be down some tangent that has nothing to do with anything.
Right.
And then I'll remember, oh, wait, no story, back to the body. It doesn't have to be a trauma I'm re-experiencing in my mind. It could be like a hope or a dream or or a worry about somebody that I know, or it absolutely, there is no rhyme or reason to my mind.
Right.
At least that I have found. And the only thing that I can do is just come back to the body and come back to watching my breath. How are my ribs moving?
Yeah.
Am I breathing into my lungs fully? Is my spine tight?
Yeah.
Asking these kinds of questions instead of, what's that story in my mind about and why is it there? Doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
No.
And that's, I guess, where I get to the whole reality of things. And I speak with a lot of people. I talk with a lot of people. I listen to a lot of people. And we all defend our stories.
Yeah.
And the stories don't need to make sense to defend them. They don't need to make sense to anyone else. Like, it might make sense to ourselves. But what I'm finding, and this is something I've been studying for years now.
Right.
It started with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I can't remember exactly the book. I think it was I can't remember the name of the book, but he's talking about where you put your attention is where things are created in your life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if your attention is on how bad things are, then you get more of how bad things are. And then that led me into the reality transurfing, which says the same thing.
Well,
and pretty much any manifesting teacher says the same thing. Where do you put your attention?
Right. Well, but there is a time and a place for, if I'm in the middle of, let's say, a war, I need to put my attention on bad things because I want to survive.
Okay.
And so
there's
an appropriate time for
right. But when I'm meditating, I don't need to be thinking about this or that or the other thing.
Right. Well, I mean, you keep coming back to the body, which is great because what you're saying is, I mean, ultimately, when we're just connected with our bodies in the moment, our minds, I would suggest, are transcending thought, are transcending analysis. We're being. We're being. I mean, that's the beauty of like working out or going for a bike ride. You have moments of just being, which is a state that gives our minds a break from the constant chatter, which a lot of us get caught up in this constant chattering mind. And then our minds are not designed to be computers. So what happens is the mind gets agitated. But then we point our fingers at, it's because of this story. It's not going like I wanted to. That's why I'm agitated. But a lot of the time, it's just we're overthinking.
Yeah, overthinking is so intense. And I also wanted to loop back.
It's an epidemic in our culture.
To my Qigong teacher, Tevye Feng. He says it's about the 3 acquired minds. And it's all about what was given to us, not who we are, from our family, from the media, and from our feeling of, I can't exactly remember the 3, but one's from the family, one's from the culture, and one's from the media, basically.
Yeah.
And how to basically look at ourselves and go, where did this belief even come from?
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a level of introspection, certainly, to really drill down and see where our beliefs originated from.
Yeah.
But it's worthwhile.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
Worthwhile. Like, is this belief from the media? That's pretty obvious, actually. That one, or, from my family, from the way I was raised.
Pre-verbal, I think, is really important. And, there is a some point this month where I was explaining to you how the nervous system is passed on, imprinted upon the baby in the womb, and how before the baby is even born, it's got the same adrenaline and cortisol levels of the mother.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And that, goes to show you if there's a woman who, say, she's living through a war and pregnant,
right?
And maybe the war's over by the time the baby's born, but that doesn't matter because the baby probably will always feel like it's in a war. And so, and without even understanding why, and this is, of course, just an example. Right. But if that baby grows up and doesn't ever look at it, like, where did this even come from?
Right.
Then it's just something you carry through your life, and it colors your reality, and that's how you see the world. And
but ideally, somebody like that could perhaps just evolve their mind state, just shift up their subconscious beliefs and find moments of peace through, working with their breath or...
Sure. That wasn't my point, but that is the answer, kind of. I mean...
Potentially.
If you don't need meaning in your life, then you can just skip the meaning piece. But for people like me, meaning is important. And for me to understand, and this is why learning the neuroscience of trauma was so important to me, because now I get it. Now I understand, how does trauma even begin in a being?
Okay. So you said meaning is important. What's the meaning of life for you?
Well, I don't think it can be that simple. I'm talking about, like, if somebody feels troubled and feels like they're always in a war, and then they have the ability to learn that their mother's nervous system was imprinted on them, then the meaning of them feeling like they're always going through a war was just imprinted and impressed upon them in a nonverbal state. And then it can be seen for what it is. It's just something that you came into this world with. And if you can see it for that meaning, then you can set it down.
Yeah, if you can understand it.
Yeah, that's what I mean by meaning.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. And if you can understand something, well, you're shining your light of attention on it, on your nervous system, and you try and figure out why it is the way it is and what the beginning of it was, is what you're saying. And so you have a level of understanding there that perhaps you can use that and change it at that point instead of just accepting it.
Well, there's an acceptance piece too. But one thing that I've learned, and I can't remember exactly who I learned this from, but you don't need forgiveness if your level of understanding can embrace the situation. So nobody did anything wrong if everyone was just in fight, flight, and, so it's like, say you're in a fight and one person is defending their right to have this belief and you're defending your right to have your belief. And then you realize you just have differing beliefs and you're defending something that isn't even the same thing. And then there's this deep understanding that it wasn't meant to be an attack. Everybody was just defending themselves. So then there's this understanding. And then it's like, okay, well, I can move on.
Well, that's cool. That's kind of reminds me of Socrates. Talks about evil being the root of evil is just a lack of understanding or ignorance.
Because we stick with it and then we fight for it and then we belittle people and are demeaning.
Well, it's so strange in this culture these days. It's sort of like a lot of people are feeling like, well, if you don't have my belief, I'm mad at you.
Right.
You know, that's kind of like the vibe.
That's dangerous. That is straight up dangerous. We are 8 billion humans, and it is so important to be able to accept differing opinions, because there is no way that 8 billion people are going to have the same opinions. It's just absolutely impossible.
Well, it's just, I believe it's a way, you know, just that idea of if you don't have the same belief I do, I'm mad at you. That's a really effective way at keeping the people fighting amongst themselves. Because we're always going to, I mean, there's going to be different beliefs. Mm-hmm. And if we find it intolerable, you know, to have, if somebody else has a different belief than you, it's just like, it leads to just like this constant like battle.
Oh, yeah. And what comes up for me with what you just said is, if we want to transcend and see the real reality, then we have to see who is gaining advantage for my defense. Like, what am I defending in the first place? You know, I think it all just comes down to where are we putting our attention and why? And this is where meaning comes in for me. And I'm learning that meaning doesn't always have to be there. And the why can just be because it's an old pattern.
Yeah, right. Let's not overthink it.
And where we put our attention. So if my attention is, the media told me to be intolerant to people who believe in different vantage points, and then we hold our attention there, and then we're walking through town. Oh, they watch different news than me, and they drive a different car than me, and you know, and we're just figuring out how we're different instead of the same.
Right, that's true. Different skin color,
different
age, different
religions,
different like amount of money. There's all these reasons that we can...
Different health. Some people are healthy, some people are sick.
Yeah, different IQ levels. I don't know. I mean, there's tons and tons of...
differences.
Yeah, and if you're right, if we put people down because they're different than us, then we're trapped.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
and that's where our attention is, and then that's all we can see.
Right. Because in what you said just a little while ago, it's just so many of these things are just habits.
Yeah.
They're habits. We don't have to look any further than that. We're just in the habit of thinking this way. We're in the habit of acting this way. So if we're really going to change, all we need to do is shift habits. And so in other words, instead of walking down the street and pointing out everything that's different in everybody, in our minds, you know, let's point out something that unites all of us in our minds. And then it's a completely different experience walking down the street. If I'm walking down the street thinking, oh, we're all soulful beings. We all have the spark of the divine within us. Whatever. The Tao is like in each of us. And I'm walking down the street and I see that in everybody. It's like, whoa, we're all united. You know, even though on some level we're not, but on some level we definitely are.
Right.
We're all united and we're all confused unless you're enlightened, an enlightened being. Which perhaps a lot of people think they are these days. I don't know. Maybe there are some.
Well, thinking you are and actually being are different things too, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But then there's the question of, am I going to judge? Who am I going to judge, you know? And
I judge those people and those people and those people and myself. I'm just playing.
I don't know how to exactly say what I want to say, but what I'm intending to really shed light on is how there have been so many teachers that exclaim the potency of our attention.
Oh, yeah.
And attention and intention are similar but different,
Yeah, they're different.
And I feel like it's taken me years to really understand this. And recently you shared a podcast. I don't remember much about it other than it was a fellow from the South and had been raised to be racist against the other race and lived his life filled with hate and then had this massive heart attack and then died. And while he was dead, had all these epiphanies about how he would want to live if he lived.
Yeah.
And then he lived and he changed his ways immediately. And
his beliefs changed.
Yeah. Yeah. And more in line with what you're saying, we're all soulful beings.
Yes.
And, we don't necessarily need to die to figure that out because the cool thing about being human is we can learn from each other. And so somebody can have an experience and then we can realize from their experience what road we were going down and do we want to continue down that road.
Yeah.
And I love learning from other people's challenges because I feel like when I learn from somebody else that I just saved myself a bunch of trouble.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Because we didn't have to learn the hard way.
Right.
Like that guy learned the hard way.
Yeah.
He's hateful, suffering, unhappy, boom, 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 heart attack, dies, and sees like more of the truth, comes back. And now he feels way better, and
his whole takeaway, his main takeaway was where you put your attention matters. And I thought that this was super, it was a huge wake up call for me because that's what every single teacher I have followed over the last 5 or 6 years has said. Yeah. Maybe even more than that because I remember... I studied under Carolyn Mace like 10 years ago, and she was saying where you put your energy matters, and where you put your attention. And she has this quote that if you have your mind in order, you could eat cat food and be nourished. She says it's not about what you eat, it's about what's in your mind. Yeah. That matters and is how you digest and all of this, and that was over a decade ago, and but coming from where I come from, yes, I do like to learn from other people's mistakes because I've made enough mistakes, Yeah. But there's some I don't know what the tipping point is when you finally get something and...
Oh, when you finally, it turns into...
It absorbs.
It becomes a subconscious belief. Yeah, well, that's an excellent point because to really implant a new belief system or a new idea into our beliefs, into our subconscious belief system, it takes a lot of effort. Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot of focus, takes repetition because the old belief is going to want to hang on. Mm-hmm. And this guy who died, I mean, he just had this massive experience where he was fully immersed in this new belief and it just kind of held on. Mm-hmm. He let go of the old one. But for most of us, we have to face cognitive dissonance to change our beliefs because our old beliefs are like, they want to stay there for whatever reason. They're just like, well, it's a habit. Again, it's habitually. It is habitual. Our mind wants to think the same thoughts, and there's some level of comfort in like thinking the same thoughts. And
well, it's beyond that though. It's actually a chemical thing that happens in our brain, and that's what I learned from neuroscience and from Dr. Joe Dispenza is that we do things not because we like them, but because we are conditioned into that habit of making that specific chemical because that's familiar to us.
Well, I mean, if you're going to look at...
And he says that if you want to counter that, then it has to be such a big and profound opposite experience that then equalizes the bad experience that created the belief and the chemical reaction that you've now become habituated to. It takes something so good, so profound. So like this guy dies, right? And it's so full. It's so
such a profound
big
experience.
That he was able to just completely counter.
Well, for most of us, though, it comes through effort and repetition.
Right.
I mean, that's what mantra is about. You keep saying it over and over in your mind. I mean, for example, if I hate a certain kind of person, like I don't know, you could just pick anything, you know. But if I'm in that, if I can just keep repeating in my mind, you know, that, oh no, we're all soulful beings. Oh no, we're all soulful beings. Oh, we're all soulful beings, and we're all confused. We're all soulful beings. We're all confused to a certain degree. You know, if I keep going with that over and over and over, then that belief is replaced in my mind.
Yeah.
So that's another way of doing it.
Yeah, that's training your subconscious mind.
Yeah, and it takes effort, and it takes a minute. It's not just you think the thought once and, oh, that's done. I figured that out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, actually not, because the old habits are not easy to break. You know, and another aspect of like changing our belief system, and this is like really important, I believe, is that a lot of people self-identify with their thoughts.
Right.
They this is me, these thoughts are me. They hear that chattering voice in their mind, and they're like, oh, that's just me. So they're scared to like change it because they feel like, oh, I'm going to cease to exist. Mm-hmm. When in reality, it's sort of true, but you're going to develop like a new and evolved self. Mm-hmm. You're evolving, you're leveling up to a new level of existence, and that's like a positive thing. It's not, but you know,
it can be scary because it's unfamiliar.
Well, exactly.
So it's taking on the idea of, yes, this will be unfamiliar, and I'm ready for it. Like there's got to be a readiness.
Well, there's got to be a readiness, and there needs to be almost a level of willpower involved with this, because, I mean, the way people are is we surround ourselves with people with similar beliefs. Mm-hmm. And then, so like the group supports each other. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we all hate those people, you know, and da-da-da-da-da, you know, whatever that is. And we support each other, and, you know, we don't want to be ostracized from the group.
Yeah.
You know, but that kind of groupthink mentality, that's like one of the main reasons that humanity has been involved with like war after war after war. You know, it just like keeps going.
And what I like to remember, though, is that there was a golden age, and it was recorded. It was a long time ago. It was thousands of years ago. Yeah. But in China, there was a golden age.
Yeah, there was.
And I do believe that the golden age is going to return, because all cycles seem to cycle.
Yeah, right. And we can achieve that here in this country for sure. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter.
In the globe, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, it seems like this country, that's something about being an American, is a lot of other countries just kind of follow in our footsteps. It seems like we're kind of
like we're so cool.
Well,
we're the popular kids in high school.
Maybe, you know, something like that. But as we evolve, I believe, so will the world culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least somewhat.
Yeah.
You know.
So let's play a song, and then we'll be back to share. And I'm feeling Free Your Mind. So enjoy Free Your Mind, and we'll be back in a moment.
Free your mind.
Free your mind, free your mind, free your mind, free your mind.
Here we are.
Now be here, now be here, now be here.
For me to be is to be free.
Free your mind. Free your mind.
Now be here.
Now be here now, now be here. We are all in this together. We are all in this together. We are all in this together.
Energy.
Forgive, let go, release. Forgive, let go, release. Faith, trust, love. Faith, trust, love. I am grateful for everyone. I am grateful for everything.
Thank you.
I am grateful, so grateful.
Thank you, universe.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am so grateful for you. Thank you. Thank you. Free your mind, 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 free your mind.
Circles inside of circles. Inside
of circle.
of circles inside of circles inside of circles.
Inside of circle.
Circles.
Inside
of circles inside of circles inside of
of
circles.
life.
Inside circles
Flower
inside
of life.
of circles. Infinity to the far reaches of our minds and beyond,
Beyond
streaking past
infinity.
the heavens
Beyond
to forever,
infinity.
forever,
Beyond
forever.
infinity.
Here we are,
Now be here.
here we are.
Now be here.
present. For your mind?
Yeah, I think that's a good message. I think that's one we wrote way, way in the beginning of our relationship of music. And I just love how in the beginning of our relationship, we wrote all these awesome songs, and I feel like they are my stepstones to the world I want.
Yeah.
Not necessarily where I am, but where I want to be. And it's just so funny that I was so inspired to write words and play music and find these messages that show me how to move forward now.
Yeah, right. I mean, and just the way when we fall off the path sometimes too, it's just the nature of it. And
yeah, it sure is. Being able to get back up and keep walking is the true sign of willingness, and I think that willingness leads to success because, they say for every successful person, they experienced many, many failures.
Oh, yeah.
And though I don't know that's true, I know from my own experience it's true. And that,
for a lot of, basically the majority of humankind,
right. You have to be willing to fall. You have to be willing to go for it. And it's really interesting because right now I feel a little bit afraid of falling, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's always that fear, but just the willingness to try and get back up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, that's like where the determination comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And just the belief too that I can stand back up after I fall. I can do it. I can keep evolving. Perhaps I made a huge mistake or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a drag, but something, humans make mistakes. Period. And I'm a human, and so I'm going to make mistakes. It's just the way it is. But if I learn from them, I level up.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. And boom. And then mistakes turn into opportunities for growth.
Yeah.
And then if we realize that, then we can just learn from mistakes and not make them again, but we'll level up and then we'll make a whole different kind of mistake.
One thing that I've been playing with in my head as somebody who seeks too much meaning, I think, is that this is beyond me understanding.
It is. That's it. That's super important.
And I've been imagining that we each are like a cell in the body of this being.
Yeah.
And we have our particular role to play.
Yeah.
And at some point, the cell dies and it goes on. Yeah. It's reabsorbed and turns into something else.
Yeah.
And that really shifted things for me to imagine it like that because it takes the pressure off of me trying to figure it out. Because I'm one cell in the body of this being. And what does it matter?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can't ultimately figure everything out with our intellect. We cannot. I mean, words can only point to the direction. For example, I can say, oh, the universe is infinite. I can say that. I can say, oh, time is infinite, space is infinite. But to really fully I can't fully understand it.
Right.
Because it's beyond my capabilities.
Right.
At this point, maybe when I'm in the spirit world,
sure,
I'll be able to understand it. Maybe I won't. Maybe there's different levels in the spirit world. That's what I actually believe is like, we'll enter the spirit world someday, and then there's like maybe 5-6 levels, and we get trained, and we can level up and level up and level up, and who knows what, unless I make a bunch of mistakes, then I get shot back down to earth immediately. Just don't know, I mean, I'm not pretending like I know, but that's just like a hunch I have. But ultimately, we can get wrapped up in wanting to know everything. Mm-hmm. And then, arrogance, people thinking they know everything, sort of, and then they're arrogant, and what comes along with arrogance, closed-mindedness. I don't need to learn anything new. I know it. I know what's going on. I don't need to learn anything, and that's a real thing in our culture. Our culture promotes arrogance. It promotes fear. It promotes anger. It promotes self-righteous anger. Like that's seen as like the answer to positive change, which is sort of ridiculous.
I want to pull it back to the points that we wanted to make. And, where we put our attention is a really huge factor in how pleasant our life is.
Yes.
And I've had 2 epiphanies this past month, and one of them is about pleasantness and what does it mean to be pleasant. And it was a how do I treat myself? And I was going through a really hard time and having some medical issues, and I was really suffering. And I was like, wow, I am legit suffering over my suffering at the moment. And I looked in the mirror, and my face was like twisted in pain and just like so much stress on my face. And I was like, wow, can I be pleasant to myself? And as I was looking in the mirror, I was like, what does that mean? And I relaxed my face some, and I was like, well, what is pleasantness? And what I came up with is that pleasantness is willing to be present. I don't have to figure anything out.
Yeah.
I can just accept that this is what is right now, and I don't need to treat myself like crap because that's not going to help anything. Right. And I might be in pain, but I don't have to suffer over it. I don't have to suffer over my suffering. I can let that be. And then that kind of led me into asking for grace. And then I was like, well, what does grace mean? Yeah. And this is the other epiphany I had. And it's like grace, if I was to define it, would be accepting what is, having compassion for myself and the situation, and being courageous enough to do what I can do to improve the situation.
Yeah, there you go. And one of my teachers, Jim Young, he would say that, or he told me in the past that grace was the shortcut. It's a shortcut to like spiritual development.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, James.
Yeah, and I just think grace is this misunderstood, understood. It's so huge, and yet we overlook it as a people, as a culture. Grace may seem weak. It's like, I want to make a difference. And then it's like, be graceful. Wait, what? That's not making a difference.
Yeah, throwing a rock through the window is making a difference.
Yeah, so it's that if we could individually have grace, be pleasant to ourselves, and accept that we are all in this together, and my individuality is also unified with all the other individuals. Yeah. And my success is tied to everyone's success, at least in evolution, and our culture's success. Yeah. And this idea of moving back into the golden age and doing everything in my power, no matter what karma is, no matter what dharma is, no matter what it seems like I'm carrying for baggage, or, I could go on and on about I'm a traumatized individual and carry all these problems because of it. But what if that doesn't really matter in the end, and it's how graceful can I move forward, and how much can I love myself and love everyone around me? And that's, to me, is like, whoa, is that even a possibility, And, I think about if I was in the city right now in any big city.
Yeah.
Walking around downtown, I would see many different walks of life in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And how in the world could I accept and have compassion for so many different walks of life? You know, some people, their line is the rich people, and some people, their line is the homeless people. And so, you know, it's like to truly embrace all of humanity is a feat.
Oh, it is. It's so worthwhile, too. I just want to
say.
Say.
And we don't know what that means. We don't know what the reward is.
Well, I have moments of benevolence for everyone, which is really, so I know the rewards because I know how good that feels. You know, and all that means is, you know, wishing well for everyone, which seems to make sense. You know, even if somebody is messing up all over the place and creating all this suffering, it's like, well, I wish well for that. I hope they learn from their mistakes and change their ways. You know, that's what, wishing well means. Instead of like, I hate that person, I wish they would just die. You know, I mean, there's such a huge difference in that.
Yeah.
But if this idea of benevolence for everybody is just really interesting to me. Because it essentially, I want what's best. When I get there, it's a state where I want what's best for everybody, and I feel like I'm on everybody's side, which is like kind of just very lighthearted and.
Is it you're on everyone's side or you're on no one's side and you don't care?
Everyone's side. I want everyone to do better.
Oh.
If somebody is messing up and like whatever, creating chaos, I want them to live and learn and evolve.
Okay.
You know, whatever that takes. But I wish well for that person. It's not like I'm not trying to judge them for all the mistakes they're making and, you know, feel like that's the answer. Because that's like, and the bottom line is, get this, when I can get into that benevolence for all state of mind, obviously I also apply that to myself. You know, but if I'm in a judgmental state of mind, you know, those people are just so stupid, then boom, I make a mistake and I apply that judgmental attitude towards myself. So it's a mind habit.
Yeah.
And if I can get in the habit of benevolence for all and point my attention on that. This is my attention, and it's an intention, right? But where the rubber meets the road is the attention part. You know, can I do this? Can I walk down the street? Can I walk by the homeless park somewhere and feel like, oh, I hope I wish all those people well. You know, to me, that's like, it's a simple solution.
And
it's not easy.
I feel, especially in our situation where we actually do help homeless people.
Yeah.
And people suffering with massive addictions that really make life hard.
Yeah.
And I feel like there is a line that each of us has to hold, and it's where do you wish them well and where do you let go? Because a lot of people who care can care to the point of draining themselves and run out of steam.
Yeah, that's a different kind of caring. It's like I think there's a big difference between benevolence and just like feeling sorry for people.
Okay.
You know, oh, I feel so sorry for those people, you know, and I get that, and I can have that too, but I really would rather focus on, oh, I wish those people well. I hope those people can figure out a way to, you know, eat healthier food.
Okay.
If they're like, if they don't have enough food to eat.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, if culturally, if collectively, if we're benevolent, guess what? We're gonna like figure out the homeless problem. I mean, we're gonna like band together and say, okay, let's do this. It's like we don't need to wait for the government. And so we're in this culture where it's like, oh, if the government's not doing it, well, that's that. Nothing I can do.
Well, that's where I'm talking about, because there are a lot of groups and organizations that are trying to do things, but the red tape.
Are they really benevolent, though? I don't think so.
I think that there's a lot of red tape, and I also feel I've seen this.
Yeah.
That there are people who they come into the organization thinking, I'm going to help people.
Yeah.
And then they get burned by a few people who are using substances.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, screw this.
Well, sure.
So they get burned.
Well,
and their compassion gets burned.
Yeah.
And
obviously the whole system needs to evolve.
Yeah.
What we're doing for homeless people right now is not working.
No doubt. It might be in some places, like Seattle. Madison's actually doing pretty good. There are examples of, but why these examples aren't spreading?
Well, it's a lot of it is just greed, and like the government's been pouring money at it, and these like organizations pop up, and they'll be like, "We'll help the homeless. Give us $10 million," and then they're all getting rich, and then they're like, "Oh, we don't really want to solve it because we want to keep this homeless thing going."
Yeah,
because that's how I'm making my $1 million a year.
So this brings back to the idea of if we are each a cell in the being.
Yeah.
And there's a role for everyone.
Yeah.
It really brings curiosity to my mind on how does this all work, And I don't know the answer. I'm not even proposing a question more than just a contemplation. What if we all just accepted our individual role as part of a functional cell or a functional, like, who knows, like maybe you're a part of the heart and I'm a part of the liver and, somebody else is a part of the colon. Like, you're not just one person, but billions or millions of people, so, and every role is important. And what if we all accepted our roles instead of fought them or tried to escape them?
Well, and it's interesting because that reminds me of like the Vietnam vibe. Because we were recently in Vietnam, and the people there, they're not like the people here in this country. We're all like involved with politics, and we're all like political experts, and 90% of the population is some kind of political.
90% is high.
Okay, 60% of the whatever. A lot of people here are all involved with politics, and their mind is just revolved around politics. But in Vietnam, people are not like that at all. People are just doing their thing, and they're not divided. They're very unified. You just feel it, and there's not like big class differences or anything. And basically, everybody just works really hard.
Yeah, and consistently.
Yeah, and they're cool with each other, and they don't and there's not like all these divisions, and I'm sure there's some of that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's.
But if you look at like there's basically no meth, no heroin,
right? There's no drugs.
The news in Vietnam just works on uniting people, the whole thing. But Vietnam happens to be a communist country where they're fortunate in the sense where they have some cool leaders, it seems like, that just want people to get along with each other and work hard.
And there's no reason to talk about politics because there's no choices.
Right.
Which it works out well for them.
Right now, it works out well for them. I'm not saying communism is the way either, because it all depends on the leader. If the leader was bad...
Right.
And then what happened in Russia with Stalin, and he just like murders all these people.
Or that other country you were talking about, you were telling me.
Oh, Cambodia.
Cambodia, yeah, that sounded horrible.
Yeah, it was just like a disaster. So I'm not, but just the vibe of these Vietnamese people of just like being with each other. They had a real benevolent vibe towards each other, and which is a beautiful thing, I think. And it's something that I try and like foster in my own mind, just benevolence.
Yeah. So I think to wrap it all up, I feel like my challenge to you, dear listener, please watch your attention and notice it. That's the first step, noticing. And I know that it's a very annoying step. Let me tell you, I totally know. And it can feel very disempowering at times when you really start to witness your own thought processes and where is my mind? Oh, geez, I don't want it there. And then you don't feel like you have the power or the choice to bring it wherever you want. But it is true that the first step is just paying attention to your attention. It takes a little time. It takes a little patience. It takes a little grace. You got to find the courage. You got to find the acceptance, and you got to have the compassion to continue to watch your mind, continue to watch your beliefs, continue to watch your actions. And over time, the choice to change does become easier and easier. Yeah. So like I was saying, I've been on this path of understanding that it is about the attention for over a decade now, and in no way have mastered it. But I'm beginning to really see where my attention is. And for me, I just say no story back to the body and go back into my body's processes and honor the individual cells in my body and how they work together into all the systems, and how if one system's messed up, it messes up another system. And how can I honor the integrated, like if this is working, then this will work. And if this isn't working, then this may have difficulty. So there's, how do I encourage homeostasis within my being? Homeostasis is everything in my body is working the way it was meant to. And so
including your mind.
Right. If we as a people individually work on homeostasis of our mind, body, and spirit and energy, which includes emotions, then, it doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden not going to have any illness or injury anymore in your life ever again. It means that you can manage wherever you're at, and you can navigate more gracefully and have a more pleasant experience.
Sounds like a plan to me. I'll try it.
Awesome. I'm going to try it too. And yes. I hope you all have a great month there on WDRT land. And if you'd like to hear more of Mindflow Radio, check us out. And
please like and subscribe.
And follow on whatever platform you're listening. And if you want to receive our little offering, the Peace Reset is easy to download. It's a little ebook that Monty and I made of our 7 favorite skills to maintain a peaceful mind.
A free ebook.
Mindflowradio.life. And then you can download it. So we'll be back sharing more next week, and hope you have a great week.
Peace and love.